Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this 16 and under matchup from the Showcase Tournament for Girls, sponsored by the U.S. Youth Soccer National League. We're in Wilson, North Carolina. My name is Alton Britt. I'll endeavor to tell you about both ball clubs, along with Wilson, and maybe some interesting or not interesting, depending on your take of things about myself. As we progress for day three and game three of day three, the combatants in this 16 and under matchup will be the La Roca Premier FD out of Caseville, Utah. They'll be wearing the black with fluorescent green tops and the white and navy blue of the Michigan Jaguars green 01 out of the Detroit area of Michigan. So I might refer to the girls as Utah and Michigan or Caseville and Detroit. Whatever, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. As we've had an exciting day of soccer thus far with more to come here in this National Showcase Tournament. Now the girls from Utah, number 17 will be Grace Beeston. Number 4, Shelby Egbert. Number 8, Kate Harrison. Number 1, Alyssa Huff. Number 18, Zoe Jacobs. Number 23, Adri Johnson. And Taliana Kalfusi is number 19. While number 7 is Abby Cotter. Lauren McConnell wears number 6. Number 13 belongs to London Miller. Nicole Ray is number 10. Maggie Reynolds, number 3. Sydney Roberts, number 16. Heather Stainbrook, number 11. And Riley Patton wears number 2. That's the La Roca Premier FD, the club out of Caseville, Utah, as we begin here at the Gillette Athletic Complex. Michigan will have number 10, Riley Balconi. Number 16, Jessica Bandick. Number 8, Crystal Bach. Number 17, Haley Brass. Number 20 is Maria Cusino, as we've just begun here in the National Showcase 16 and under division of play here in Wilson. Number 55 is Lucy Crampton. Maya Etienne is number 00. Chloe Holmberg, number 3. Zoe Homyak, number 25. Number 11 is Michelle Jeckman. 81 is Ariana Laba. Sloan Marville, or Marwill rather, is number 7. Gabrielle McCaslin, number 22. Allie Melvin, number 14. Number 4 is Sarah Noonan. 5 is Sarah Smolinski, while number 12 belongs to Alexander Whalen, and number 19 is Danielle Wolf. That's the Michigan Jaguars girls green. As we've just begun play, we're in the first minute of play, no score, just begun here at the Gillette Athletic Complex. Wilson, North Carolina, is in the eastern part of the state. We're located about 45 miles east of the capital city of Raleigh, and 100 or so miles away east of us is the Atlantic Ocean. We're some 120 miles to the east of Greensboro, and Winston-Salem about 150 away to the northwest. To the southwest of us, we'll see the largest city of North Carolina, Charlotte, which of course is the home of the Charlotte Hornets of the National Basketball Association, as well as the Charlotte Panthers of the National Football League, participants in last year's Super Bowl, game lost against the Denver Broncos. The mountain region of North Carolina, Asheville, some 300 miles to the west of us. We're called the Variety Vacation Land, just about anything you want to do available for your uh, uh, doing here in North Carolina, as we are about 3.5 hours away from the mountains and a couple of hours away from the coast. Hence the Variety Vacation Land, the moniker uh, that North Carolina is known for. Wilson formerly was the world's largest bright leaf tobacco market in the world. Tobacco, of course, on the wane recently as the team from Utah attacks from right to left. The ball sent into the far corner, being chased by girls from both ball clubs. Wilson now known for barbecue, great soccer facilities, friendly people. Its national championship basketball team, Barton College, won the NCAA Division II national championship as a shot goes wide behind the fence here at the Gillette Athletic Park. It's retrieved and will go back the other way. Barton, as I said, in 2007 up in Springfield, Massachusetts, won the NCAA Division II National Basketball Championship. They were a participant in the 2006 tournament. They lost in the first round in overtime to the eventual champions from Winona State University, but Barton got revenge in 2007 as Barton defeated Grand Valley State on a buzzer beater by Anthony Atkinson, a three-point shot in the first round, followed by an Atkinson free throw, which won the contest against Cal State San Bernardino. And then Barton rallied from being down 7 with 45 seconds to play in beating the team from Winona State, the team that had beaten Barton in overtime in the first round of the last year. In fact, Winona State, as a corner kick, goes on top of the get and falls harmlessly down and will go back the other way. So each team with opportunities, nothing has been cashed in as we are in minute 5. Winona, as I said, they were the defending national champions as very loud coaching remarks coming from the Utah squad down to our left. Located to our right will be the team from the Detroit area of Michigan, as Michigan now attacks the goal from left to right, and they work the ball in front of the goal, trying to get a shot off. Finally, a left-footed attempt winds up in the hands of the goalie, as again we've got loud remarks being uttered by the Utah contingent to our left, as I'm sure the girls have been coached and don't need to be constantly reminded what to do, but in Utah's case, I guess what works for them. No doubt about it. No score in the match. We're 6 minutes in. But Barton beat Winona in 2007. Winona had won 56 straight games, number one in the country, defending national champions, had 2 first-team All-Americans in their starting 5, and Barton came from 7 down with 45 seconds to play on an Atkinson layup at the buzzer to win. Now, if you know the name Atkinson, you know that he's the headline performer for the Blue Troop of the Harlem Globetrotters. Anthony passed over in the NBA draft, as he was passed over most of his life, only to come back and beat you. But Anthony, as I said, the top performer for that Globetrotter team. I saw Anthony a few weeks ago. He told me he had been to 97 different countries as a member of the Harlem Globetrotters. But anyway, Barton College, located here in Wilson, North Carolina. In addition to the excellent venue here at Gillette, the soccer tournament game sponsored by the National League taking place along at local high schools, Fike High School and Bedingfield High School. In addition, Barton College, their pitch being used, and in our neighboring city, some 20 miles to the north of Rocky Mount, the Rocky Mount Athletic Complex, the site of action. As there are 128 teams in this tournament, of course, you got to have some place to play. Utah now chasing the ball, and Very loud ruminations coming from the left side from the Utah coaching contingent. Right now, Utah rejects the bid by the team from Michigan and will head back the other way. And again, Utah going from right to left. Utah out of the city of Caseville. They are the La Roca Premier FD against the Michigan Jaguars green from the Detroit area of Michigan. I said 128 girls teams on display in this showcase tournament this weekend, as the boys will take center stage next weekend, and we've got 27 states represented. 6 or so of the states have more than one team, as we've got multiple entries from New York, from Michigan, from California, Washington, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Another kick from the left side by Michigan sails high and wide. And again, more yelling going on from the Utah side, as I think these girls certainly have been trained by the Utah coaches to play better than perhaps they have, although we've got no score. I'm not sure if the girls can hear what the coaches are saying or not. I certainly can, but then again, I'm much closer to them than the girls themselves. Right now, Utah handling the ball in the defensive zone. We're in the 9th minute of play. No score in the soccer match. 16 and under battle between Utah and Michigan. No score in the matchup as the ball goes right over my head. Looked like it was going to go right between my eyes for a split second, but it rose steadily and eluded me over the top of the canopy as I sit on the midline here at Gillette Field number 1 at the Gillette Athletic Complex. Bert Gillette is the gentleman, the late Bert Gillette, whom the facility is named after. He was the longtime recreational leader in the Wilson area, establishing a lot of the precedents that are used today, even as Wilson, known far and wide for its excellent athletic and recreational opportunities and facilities. Here at Gillette Athletic Complex, down to my right, down the way, is a full-size, is a Little League-size replica of the full-size baseball park known as Fleming here in Wilson, which is a local institution, and several minor league teams have occupied Wilson. Recently, though, they've been home to the Wilson Tobbs of the Collegiate Baseball Association, a wooden bat league played in the summertime. But Little Leaguers enjoy the facilities here at Gillette, that big stadium for the Little Leaguers, surrounded by a couple of additional Little League parks. And where we are right now, we're at one of some 10 soccer pitches being used to house this particular tournament. As with 128 teams, as I said, you got to have some place to play. The ball worked to the middle of the field by Michigan, and Michigan will send it down toward the pitch where it's intercepted and a shot on goal. No. Good defense prevented that shot on goal. Looked like for a second Utah might have an opening to the back of the net, but Michigan prevented it. Utah, though, still in possession on the left side. The ball kicked out of bounds. Another nice defensive play by the Michiganders. No score as we're in minute 12 of the first half of this 16 and under soccer match. We've got one more game left to play at 4 o'clock, and that will conclude play here at the Gillette Athletic Complex on this particular Saturday, with the finals scheduled, final day of action for tomorrow. And as these teams strive for championships, as Utah still on the offensive attack, and Michigan now with the ball will work it toward the center of the pitch. Michigan will send it downfield from left to right. You might wonder who exactly these teams are. I'll do my best to discuss that as we go along this afternoon. Right now, Utah back on the offensive end. Utah in black jerseys with fluorescent green numerals against the white and navy blue of Michigan. Michigan now trying to work the ball out of the defensive zone, and it's kicked out of bounds. The last touch by the girls from Utah. As we continue with our talking points in this contest, I ask who are the teams? Of course, I know, and you want to know. But the U.S. Youth Soccer National League features the top teams in the country who earn their place in the league three different ways, either by success in their respective U.S. Youth Soccer Regional Championships or success in their respective U.S. Youth Soccer Regional Leagues, or having a top finish in last year's National League. What are they playing for? Well, the top four teams in each National League age group earn an automatic bid to the 2017 U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships, which is the oldest and most prestigious youth soccer championships in the country. The top finishers in the 15 under, 16 under, and 17 under age groups earn a place in next season's National League. So a lot to play for here on the banks of Toys Not Park in Wilson, North Carolina. And Utah, still on the offensive, will try to get into position to score the game's first goal. But, again, the Michigan Ball Club prevents that. However, a steal on the right side. Utah attacks and sends a shot goalward, where it's caught by a fine effort by the Michigan goaltender. And the score remains 0-0. We are in minute 15 of the 16 and under match between Utah and Michigan. We play 80-minute matches in the 16 and under division, two 40-minute halves, as opposed to the older girls playing 90-minute matches, 45-minute halves, as Utah continues to play outstanding defense. Of course, Michigan outstanding in their own right, as evidenced by the scoreboard, which shows a 0-0 tie. We are in minute 16. Nobody really has come close to scoring as of yet, as again the coaches from Utah continue to shout instructions down our left. Rather quiet emanating from the Michigan bench, and two diametrically opposed factions here in this Showcase Soccer Tournament. We'll see who prevails as Utah and Michigan battle in this 16 and under match. I'll tell you what's unique for the 2016-17 season, as the National League of Youth Soccer is in now its 10th year, 8th consecutive year here in Wilson. This will mark the 10th National League season after the league began in 2007. As far as expansion goes, the number of teams in the 16 under through 18 and under age groups doubled, pushing the total from 160 to 256 teams, 128 girls teams and 128 boys teams. As the loud yelling from the Utah side continues here at Gillette. I don't hear well, and I certainly can hear those yells well as the ball worked to the middle of the net, and a header will score the first goal of the game as the Michiganders take the lead in what is the 6th minute of play, as the goal scored on a nice header from one of the larger girls on the team, and that's, I believe, number 19, and that's Danielle Wolf. Danielle Wolf, her header goal, giving the Michigan Ball Club an early 1-0 lead. Michigan 1, Utah 0, and the match resumes play 17 minutes in to the first half. Michigan with the early advantage. leading by a 1-0 score on a nice hitter by Wolf. Again, in the 16th minute, as the ball was worked by Michigan to get in position for that nice hitter off the top of the head of Wolf. 1-0, the Michigan Ball Club ahead now. La Roca Premier FD out of Utah trailing by 1 to the Michigan Jaguars Green 0-1 Ball Club. Both teams excruciatingly vehement in their approach to that soccer ball. As I tell you what, the National League's logo and their hashtag is Earn Your Place, and that's exactly what these girls have done. As I haven't seen a bad soccer player yet, let alone a bad team. Right now, Utah will attack, trailing by 1-0 score. Downfield, the ball worked to the right of the goal. Utah can't get in, and Michigan sends it back the other way at the 19-minute mark. Now Utah with a great shot and a fine save by Michigan will prevent that shot from going in and will go the other way. Michigan with a Wolf goal at the 16-minute mark. Danielle with a nice header just in front of the goal, hit the back of the net, and gives Michigan a 1-0 lead. We've not had many goals today, as all of the girls who've performed on this field in any event, they have been stout defensively. Right now, Michigan will work the ball upfield. Michigan in white with navy blue against the black and fluorescent green, or yellow if you will, of the Caseville, Utah squad. We're in minute 20 of action in the first half of this 16 and under battle between the young ladies representing Utah and Michigan. Right now, one of the Utah players ties her shoe, and we're ready for action, and we'll get a kick by Utah from midfield. The left-footed effort spirals downfield where Michigan rejects it and sends it back the other way. Michigan now will kick it out of bounds, and it will belong to the girls from Utah. Once again, we're minute 20, match slated for an 80-minute duration, two 40-minute halves, 1-0 in favor of Michigan. As the ball still in the offensive zone of the Utah young ladies, Utah in black with fluorescent green or yellow against the white and the navy blue of Michigan. Utah will kick it out of bounds behind the goal, and we'll do it all over again. Michigan will be on the defense as they were the last to touch it, as we got a corner kick upcoming from the left corner. Utah will send it goalward as all of the girls, most of the girls at least, go to the area right in front of the net, and the kick hits the end of the net and is no good. And Utah fails on the corner kick and will remain at 1-0 in favor of the Detroit area Michigan team at the 21-minute mark of the first half. And the ball is kicked. The goalie header misses by Michigan. Utah now with possession. Utah in the defensive zone at the 21-minute mark of the first half, 1-0, Michigan leading Utah. A goal at minute 16 by Danielle Wolf. A nice header as Michigan will send the ball out of bounds. Our first sub ready to come into the match, number 10 for Utah, will enter the action. That's Nicole Ray. Ray stands ready to come in at the first opportunity as deemed by the officials. By the way, as impressed as I've been by the girls in this tournament, their expert level of play, I've been equally impressed by the referees who've done a fabulous job all 3 days in this tournament. Of course, when you get the best girls involved, it's always good to have the best referees, and we've certainly done that. As right now, Utah will have the ball in the defensive zone. We're in minute 22 of a 1-0 Michigan lead. We're in the first half. Minute 23 now appears on the scoreboard. Scoreboard by BB&T, a bank that had its beginnings in Wilson, who had the home office in Wilson until a few years ago. They moved to Winston-Salem, North Carolina, but still a lot of BB&T activity in the Wilson area, along with Rotary International, and of course it's well known the good that those fellows do. Two very fine philanthropic organizations at minute 23. The ball in the Texas zone, the Michigan zone, Michigan in white with navy blue, and the ball kicked back by the black-shirted girls of Utah. Utah attempting to tie at the 29th minute mark. Once again, we play two 40-minute halves of soccer in this 16 and under age group. Ball still remains in the possession of the girls from the Detroit area as it's kicked out of bounds finally and will turn over to Utah at the 30-minute mark. Now, I'm not sure if that's 29:43 or 23:43. It's 23, the 24th minute. 24th minute, as again, that sun making it somewhat difficult to see those bright fluorescent numbers down to my left as the girls from Detroit attacking once again. The lone score in the game, a long kick down the right side, run down by Michigan, but a good defensive play by Utah will send it out of bounds as we've got subs getting ready to check into the match. Number 4 for Utah, that's Shelby Egbert. She'll enter along with number 14 from Detroit, number 14 being Allie Melvin. And the other girl, number 11, getting ready to check in, is Michelle Jeckman. I apologize, as another nice save down on the end will prevent Michigan doing further damage. And it remains 1-0 as these substitutes, anxious to get into the action, will await the players that they replace to come on to the field. And now I can see that it's a green number on the back of those white shirts. As I guess I'm colorblind, I was thinking it was navy blue, but they are, after all, the Michigan Jaguars green. So, white with green against black with fluorescent yellow-green being worn by Utah. As the score remains 1-0 in favor of Michigan. And we're in the 25th minute of the first half. Another header attempt from in front of the goal, no good. Another header attempt, no good. And the girls from Utah will dodge a bullet and send it back the other way. Here comes Utah with a 2-on-1 opportunity as the goalie backs up, and downfield Detroit hustles to make the defensive stop. And we've got a whistle at minute 26 of the first half. 1-0 as the Michigan Green team leads in this contest on a goal at the 16-minute mark by Danielle Wolf. Right now, we've got a kick in the defensive zone by Michigan, but the Utah young ladies intercept and head back the other way. Utah downfield, down to my left, trying to get that in position for that possible tying goal, and another brilliant save by the Detroit goalie will prevent just that, as we are in the 27th minute of action, and the score remains 1-0 in favor of the Detroit or the Michigan Green. Back the other way, and the goalie for Michigan once again gets that soccer ball. As number 13 getting ready to enter, that's London Miller for Utah. Utah still seeks that tying goal at minute 27 of the first half. Also, number 17, Grace Beeston, will get ready to check into this match as well. Michigan with a 1-0 lead on a header goal by Danielle Wolf at the 16-minute mark of the first half. Right now, we're in the 27th minute, and Michigan trying to keep that 1-0 advantage, playing really good defense as Utah unsuccessful on that trip down in an attempt to tie things up. Michigan will send it far down the left side. These girls battle, and we've got a collision, and two girls, one from each team, hit the pitch here at Gillette Athletic Park. And right now the subs waiting for their players to leave the action so they can enter. They just don't go in whenever they want to. They've got to get the attention of the players whom they are replacing, and they've got to come to the sidelines before they're allowed to enter. So we'll just continue to wait in the 28th minute of a 1-0 Michigan lead over Utah. And the kick from the side by Michigan, the right of the goal box. Back the other way we come with it. Utah in possession. Utah down 1-0 as the ball hit out of bounds, and maybe we'll get the attention of the players to be replaced by the Utah subs. Nothing as yet, though. Utah on the attack. Utah goes from right to left in the 29th minute of action. Right through the wickets the ball goes, and it is kicked in my direction, but stopped by one of the Utah coaches. Last touched by Michigan, so it'll belong to the Utah team as the subs now enter the action wearing the black jerseys with the fluorescent green or yellow numerals. 1-0 Michigan over Utah as we are in minute 29 of the first half here at the Gillette Athletic Center. The ball now to be inbounded by Michigan, knocked out of bounds. Last touch, they say, by the young ladies from the Utah team. As downfield, the ball will go from right to left. Utah, though, intercepts. Of course, soccer, a game of constant interceptions. As one team will have it, the other team real quickly. As the shot stopped by the goalie, and actually it was a pass from one Utah player to the Utah goalie, and the action back down at the offensive end of the Utah squad. Texas, though, intercepts. As talking about college exposure, a lot of college coaches in attendance. They attend each National League weekend, and so they say the level of competition certainly makes it a top recruiting trip each year. Many of these girls, particularly the older ones, have cast their lots already as to which college or university they will attend, while others are just waiting to be seen. After all, we do call it a showcase, as many young ladies will have all or part of their college educations paid for through their involvement in the sport of soccer. And the players, so the college coaches say, and they just keep getting better and better. Right now, the action fast and furious in the middle of the field at the 31-minute mark as Michigan leads it 1-0. Utah now looking for a chance to score with a good defensive play by Michigan's number 81. Will send it out of bounds. Ariana Laba with that fine defensive play. The ball still belongs, I think, to Utah as the goalie runs it down in back of the net in the 31st minute. 1-0, Michigan over Utah as we've got subs ready to enter the Michigan lineup. Number 25 comes in. That's Zoe Hamyuk, along with number 17, Haley Bress, as we are in minute 32 of a scheduled 40-minute first half here at Gillette Athletic Complex. Right now, Utah trying to get in position to tie this match up as Michigan leads it by the score of 1-0. Danielle Wolf goal off a header at the 16-minute mark of the first half as Michigan is getting set to send in another substitute. Michigan works the ball down to the left of the net where it's brought back by Utah, and Michigan will turn it over. Utah ball on the out of bounds, as again we've got a Michigan substitute ready to check into the action. All she needs to do is get the attention of the player for whom she will enter. Number 7 for Michigan is Sloan Marwill. Marwill will wait for a sign to enter the fray. The Michigan green with Allstate in green across the front. Number 22 out of the game, that's Gabrielle McCaslin. Michigan leads it by a 1-0 score. The goal on a header by Wolf at the 16-minute mark of the first half. Right now we're in minute 33 as Michigan continues to lead 1-0. As we said earlier, a lot of low-scoring matches, the order of the day here at Gillette Field number 1, as the kick will be made by Michigan from the defensive side of the mid-line. Downfield it goes. Michigan trying to get in a position to pad that lead. Michigan works the ball to the right side, and alertly the defenders mark the Michigan soccer player. The ball hit toward the goal but rejected back toward midline, and Michigan continues to battle it. And finally we've got a whistle called, and we're going to have a kick attempt by the Michiganders. Michigan looking to add to that 1-0 advantage, as doing the kicking will be Danielle Wolf, I believe, the young lady whose header made it a 1-0 lead for the Detroit area soccer club. Wolf, a tall girl, she must be about 6'3", 6'4". Now, she will fake the kick. As Michigan fakes it, Wolf will send it toward the net, and it goes in. As two players went toward the ball as if to kick it, and then Wolf, and she scores in the 34th minute, I believe, and it's 2-0 in favor of Michigan, as Wolf gets her second goal of the match. This one from quite a ways out, as two girls made passes at the ball before Wolf floated it over the goalie's head. A beautiful kick by Danielle Wolf. And the team from the Detroit area with a 2-0 lead. We are in the 35th minute of play here at Gillette Athletic Complex. You're viewing the game on the Torbo Sports Network. My name is Alton Britt. Love to hear from you. My email address is altonvbritt@gmail.com. That's Alton, V as in victory, BRITT, @gmail.com. As certainly I appreciate so very much your tuning our way. Also, a big thanks to our sponsors, Nike, Bubba Burger, Kohl's, MLS, Nesquik, Positive Clothing Alliance, Toyota, Wilson Trophy Company, NSCAA, and U.S. Soccer for their help in providing assistance, as a shot will go wide and is stopped by the Michigan goalkeeper as the shutout continues. Michigan Green 2, the La Roca Premier team from Utah, nothing. Utah trying very, very hard to get on the scoreboard before the halftime proceedings here at Gillette. And we're at the 37th minute mark of a scheduled 80-minute 16 and under girls contest right now at the present time. With the ball, Utah out near midfield. Utah will send it in toward the goal, but back the other way. The Michiganders send it, only to be intercepted by Utah at minute 37. 2-0 on two Michigan goals by Danielle Wolf. One at the 16-minute mark, one at the 34-minute mark, as a direct kick went in last. The first one scored off a header. And Wolf, the young lady who scored both times for the Detroit Green. Right now we've got a sub coming, as awaiting an opportunity. We'll have a kick from about 20 yards on the offensive side of the Utah offensive zone. A short kick. Utah just trying to get into position to score what would be, if they are successful, their first goal. As Utah now down the left side, the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch, and we'll wait and see who gets it. I believe the girls from Michigan at the 38-minute mark, leading 2-0, will put it in play. Now, that's number 3 for the Michigan team. Number 3 being Chloe Holmberg will enter the action in the 38th minute here of a scheduled 40-minute first half. Michigan throws it in. It's knocked out of bounds by Michigan, and the ball will belong to the Utah team in black jerseys with fluorescent green or yellow trim and numbers. Utah now down the left side, left of the box, shot on its way, and a follow shot. No good. The goalie gets it, and the shutout stays intact as it's 2-0, continuing Michigan with the lead on 2 Wolf goals. Right now, Michigan will try to get it back as we're in minute 39 of the first half. Remember, we play 40-minute halves in the 16 and under girls division. The boys will be in the showcase tournament here in Wilson next week as Utah stymied again in their attempt to get it into the goal in minute 39. Back the other way, the young ladies from the Detroit area will boot it goalward, and only to be stolen by La Roca, and La Roca, the Utah team, knocks it out of bounds in the 39th minute. So time winding down here in the first half of this contest between the La Roca Premier FD out of Caseville, Utah, and the Michigan Jaguars Green 01 out of the Detroit area of Michigan. As the ball worked down, Utah gets it out of danger, sends it downfield, only to be returned upfield by the Michigan team as we are now in minute 40. Time running out here in the first half of play at the Gillette Athletic Complex. Utah trying very, very desperately to try to get on that scoreboard, but they kick it out of bounds at the 40-minute mark. So, once again, not much time left. 2-0 in favor of Michigan over Utah here in the showcase tournament for girls of the U.S. Youth Soccer National League, as Utah now will kick it downfield. Once again, just seconds left in the first half of a 2-0 Michigan soccer match. Michigan now will kick it downfield deep out of the scoring area completely. The ball goes, and it's hit out of bounds as the clock now shows we are in the 40th minute, as we can't have very much time left in this match. But as of yet, we still haven't heard the referee's whistle. Michigan with some very tall young ladies, of whom Wolf probably is the tallest. Another tall girl, number 81, that's Ariana Lava, will kick the ball out of bounds as the halftime is here. Halftime score is the Michigan Jaguars Green 2 and the La Roca Premier FD out of Caseville, Utah, nothing. 2 goals by the Michigan girls by Danielle Wolf, one at the 16-minute mark, one at the 34-minute mark. And as we enter halftime, we'd like to take the opportunity to thank again our sponsors, who are Nike, Bubba Burker, Kohl's, MLS, Nesquik, Positive Coaching Alliance, Toyota, Wilson Trophy Company, NSCAA, and U.S. Soccer. Once again, the halftime score is Michigan 2, Utah nothing. Back with the second half in just a few minutes right here on the Turbo Sports Network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Alton Brett with you for the Turbo Sports Network as we're set now for second half action between the La Roca Premier FD of Caseville, Utah, wearing the black tops with the fluorescent green or yellow numerals and trim, against the Michigan Jaguars, green 0-1. They're out of the Detroit area. They're wearing white jerseys with the green numerals. And we've got a 2-0 lead. Both goals scored by Danielle Wolf of the Michigan club. And we've got another 40 minutes of action awaiting you here at the Gillette Athletic Center. Again, I'm Alton Britt. My email address is altonvbritt@gmail.com. That's V as in victory. And I'd love to hear from you. We're just starting second half of play as Michigan will shoot this half at the goal to my left, while Utah will have at it at the goal to my right. 2-0 as Michigan been very, very stingy defensively, not giving the young ladies from Utah much of any opportunity to get into that goal area. Utah now will steal the ball from the Michigan club and send it downfield and hit it out of bounds. And the ball will belong, I believe, to Michigan. Again, goals at 16 and 34 by Danielle Wolf. Danielle Wolf on a beautiful corner kick for the goal at 34 and a header at 14. The only scores in the soccer match as it begins to cloud up just a little bit here in Wilson, and it's certainly turning colder, probably in the low 40s with a bullet headed down for the rest of this day in this national showcase tournament. For right now, we've got a 16 and under match being played between Caseville, Utah, and the Michigan Green out of the greater Detroit area. Again, only 2 goals scored by Danielle Wolf in the first half for Michigan at 16 and 34, as the Michiganders have been splendid all day on the defensive end. Right now, Michigan attempted to making a 3-goal lead and can't get the shot, although they were very near the goal. The ball drilled out of bounds, last touch by Michigan. So Caseville, Utah will send it back the other way. Going from left to right, we are in the 43rd minute of play here in Wilson at the Gillette Athletic Center. Again, my name is Alton Britt, and we're pleased you've chosen to join us on the Turbo Sports Network for this exciting soccer action. Girls Showcase Tournament. The boys will come to Wilson to play in the Boys Showcase Tournament next weekend. Right now, though, the girls have the stage all to themselves, and we've seen some exciting soccer action, to say the least, in these 3 days of play thus far. As we're certainly thankful to be televising the 11th consecutive game for each day, and we're in game number 3 on the 3rd day as Michigan's number 14, Allie Melvin takes a hard tumble, but gets up very quickly. We've alluded to these girls' ability to get up off the pitch as being similar to a jack-in-the-box, as a kick by Michigan is saved by the Utah goalie to the right of the goal, and we'll go back the other way. In case you're just joining us, you might be wondering, who are the teams? The U.S. Youth Soccer National League features the top teams in the country who earn their place in the league via success in their respective U.S. Youth Soccer Regional Championships or success in their respective U.S. Youth Soccer Regional Leagues or a top finish in last year's National League, as Michigan continues to lead by the 2-0 score. Again, excellent officiating to go along with the excellent play of the participants in this tournament. as the ball kicked a long way away, finally retrieved by the Utah team. And they'll get a kick from the right side, and it's headed out of harm's way by the Michigan team, who in turn kicks it out of bounds on the right side. So Utah, looking at their first goal, will put it in play. Michigan now back on the defensive end. 2 goals by Wolf, the difference in the ball game. Wolf, number 19, with a beautiful header and a direct kick off of 2 fakes. And the third person to approach the ball was Wolf. She kicked it and kicked it just over the head and the outstretched arms of the Utah goalkeeper. Again, goals coming at 16 and 34 as Michigan continues to pitch the shutout. As with the ball now, Utah has it. Downfield, Utah will pass amongst themselves. In the middle, it goes across the midline and headed back the other way. Another girl hits the deck, a Utah young lady, and now one from Michigan does the same at the other end. These are tough young ladies who play this fast-paced game that many people say, and they're right, as far as participation goes, the most popular sport in the world, as it's played and has been played for a long, long time. Utah wide on a shot attempt to the left of the goal at the 46-minute mark of the second half in this scheduled 80-minute matchup between teams from Utah and Michigan. Again, our thanks to the Turbo Sports Network for their diligence in streaming the live action to you at home. Hopefully you're warm wherever you are. Certainly chilly right here in Wilson, and getting chillier about a minute as we are in minute 47, and the score remains 2-0 in favor of the team from the Detroit area. 2 goals by number 19 for Michigan, wearing the white jerseys with the green numerals. That is Danielle Wolf, tall young lady with a header and a direct kick in the first half, coming at the 16 and 34 minute marks. Michigan on the offensive attack again. Downfield with the soccer ball, approaching the goal on the right side, and now attempt is thwarted by Utah, and we head back the other way. It appeared for a moment that Michigan's number 12, Alexandra Whalen, might have a scoring opportunity, but Utah threw a nail into that situation. Right now, Utah looks goal number 1 downfield. They have a girl knocked down, number 23, and that's Adri Johnson. And the whistle blows, and I think Utah will have a chance at a kick from the right of the goal. They will. It will be an indirect attempt, and doing the kicking for the Utah team will be number 2, Riley Taton. Taton, as 4 white-shirted Michigan girls stand directly in her way. Now we'll change up, and perhaps Utah will either fake it or have another girl attempt it. 2 girls now line up near the ball, and number 7 runs by it, and number 2 passes to number 7, and 7 in the right corner shoots it wide of the goal right. Utah, with somewhat of a trick play, will draw the ire of the coaching staff, as again some loud instructions being barked from our left. Score remains 2-0, Michigan over Utah, and the kick downfield, as Utah had a kick for their first goal, but it was not even close right now. Contact made, and a Utah girl goes down, a foul being signaled, and the official making a sign out the middle of the field. The girl from Utah still on the ground saying, I believe the official says she got hit in the head, but she's okay. She jumps up. She wears number 11. That is Heather Stainbrook, as she went down hard and was a little late in getting up, drawing the attention of the official. Again, Utah with kick opportunity from the middle of the pitch. This one right in the middle of the field and will be attempted by Tatan. Tatan by herself. It will be an indirect kick, and Tatan will shoot it goalward. It's high and caught by the goalie for Michigan. And again, the Utah Lassies are contained, and they will not score. 2-0, the score remains. 2 goals by Wolf of Michigan. Michigan will send it downwards. We've not had any goals here in the second half. We're 50 minutes into the second half of play here at Gillette as it continues to darken up and chill up here on the banks of Toys Knot Park in eastern North Carolina. Utah now has the ball in their defensive zone. Downfield it goes. And Utah still hasn't scored. Now they approach the goal from the right side. Good dribbling by Utah's number 23. That's Adree Johnson. And Adree can't get an opening to the goal and kicks it out of bounds. We'll come back the other way with it. Michigan in control, leading by a 2-0 score. Now, what are these teams playing for? Well, the top 4 teams in each National League age group earned an automatic bid to the 2017 U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships, which are the oldest and most prestigious youth soccer championships in the country. The top finishers in the 16 under, 15 under, 16 under, and 17 under age groups earn a place in next season's National League. As the play now is centered around midfield, score remaining 2-0 in favor of the Detroit area girls. They lead on the virtue of 2 goals by Danielle Wolf, one at the 16 mark, a header, and a nice direct kick at the 34-minute mark of the first half. As Detroit has led most of this soccer match, Utah just being turned away at every opportunity by what has been a very stingy Michigan defense. We're in minute 52. This match scheduled for an 80-minute time duration, as Michigan now will attack down the right side. Into the right corner, turning the corner and going down is a Michigan player, and we'll go back the other way with it. With the ball, Utah looks goal number 1, but Michigan gets it right back. Michigan resumes their attack on the goal, leading 2-0. A long kick from the middle of the field sails wide of the mark, and Utah comes back the other way with it. Utah, very, very fast player on the right side, will kick it goalward, and it'll go left. And now it'll be kicked to the right of the goal, as Utah had a splendid opportunity, couldn't cash in. And now to the middle of the field, a goal opportunity knocked away by Michigan, and Utah, in the person of number 23, Johnson, very, very fast. And they fell on their opportunities to get the ball into the back of the net. As we've got 2 substitutes for Michigan, 8 and 16. 16 being Jessica Bandick, and number 8 belonging to, as we scan the roster, we find out it's Crystal Bach. 2 Wolf goals, the difference in the match, as Michigan leads Utah 2-0. We're in minute 54 of what's scheduled to be an 80-minute affair. Nice crowd on hand, and I really like the way soccer does things, as they put the fans on the opposite side of the field from the players and coaches. And the announcers for that part, as I look to my left, a nice contingent pulling for Utah, and to my right in the bleachers, Michigan with a fine representative crowd as well. Michigan leads it by a 2-0 score. We're in minute 54 as, again, it continues to get colder here at Gillette Athletic Complex. as the young lady from Utah will go behind the Michigan bleachers and retrieve the soccer ball. As Woods are directly in front of us and to our left, a beautiful setting as this complex certainly gets a lot of activity through the year from various soccer teams, tournaments, and just the general public for that matter when they can get on here. As we are again at the Gillette Athletic Complex in Wilson, and we've got a push down, and the Utah girl called for the push on, giving the ball to Michigan. Michigan will play it. Number 22, Gabrielle McCaslin, getting set to kick the ball in. As again, we've got substitutions, and the goal scorer, number 19, Wolf, getting set to check in for the Michigan team, who must feel like they're at home, as cold as it is, and again, getting colder here as darkness approaches the Wilson area in the form of the time of year in addition to the weather itself. We understand there have been some severe tornadoes in some parts of the South. Luckily, not here in Wilson, as a shot weakly hit down to the left side by Michigan, and the goalkeeper for the Utah team will send it further downfield. Utah with the ball now. They will give it to Michigan. Michigan will play it on the out of bounds. We are 56 minutes in as Wolf will re-enter the Michigan lineup. Wolf, a header for a goal and a direct kick for a goal, accounting for the scoring in this soccer match. As we've got a Utah sub, number 6, wanting to get in as well. That is Lauren McConnell. The ball worked downfield to our left, and a good effort by the goalkeeper to keep that one from going in for Utah. And again, the Utah team denied another opportunity to get into the goal box. Minute 57 approaching here at Gillette. As the sub for Utah now will enter the action here in the middle of the field, and we wait for her to take her position. Utah will have a corner kick from the right side. Utah unable to dent the back of the net thus far. They've got a good opportunity right here. Corner kick on its way as it winds its way, headed out of trouble by Michigan. Utah gets it, another kick blocked away by Michigan, and Michigan shoots it out of harm's way temporarily as Utah will run it down on the left side. Caseville, Utah, looking goal number 1, trying very, very hard against what has been an extremely tight Michigan defense. Again, we have a girl from Utah to hit the turf, and she's up. Forgive me if I sniffle a little bit, as this weather is about to get the best of me. 58 minutes into the match, 2-0. Michigan leads it. And we've got a sideline kick by Utah, left-footed style, toward the goal, and didn't get in. Kicked out of danger by Michigan. Michigan now will clear the ball, and Utah, in an attempt to get it back, and the ball will go out of bounds, last touched by Michigan. So Utah continues to pound the offensive end. Utah trails by a 2-0 score. Utah in black jerseys with the fluorescent trim and numerals against the white and green of the Michigan green. Wolf for Michigan with 2 goals, the only 2 goals of the match thus far. Utah continuing to put pressure on the Detroit area young ladies as Utah maintains possession of the soccer ball at the 59-minute mark. Game scheduled for 80 minutes in duration. Again, 2 girls hit the turf hard. And again, they are up just as quickly as they went down, as Utah will have the ball in the defensive area, 59-22. left to play. We're in approaching a minute 60, and a 2-0 soccer match. We play two 40-minute halves here in the 16 and under division. As the ball worked down in the far corner on the left, Utah continues to try to put pressure on this Michigan team. Michigan just won't let them in. Right now, the ball kicked out of bounds, and again, two girls hit the deck, and again, they're quickly back up as they are really going at each other hard. We're in the 60th minute now, and the ball hit out of bounds. Last touched by Michigan. Utah will continue to try to get down to the offensive end of the field. Good defense being played by Michigan, as it has been all game. Michigan up 2-0. We're in the 61st minute here at Gillette Athletic Complex. Down the far side, Utah continues to put pressure. Kicked in the middle, kicked back out by Michigan, though. Utah trying to run it down. And again, we've got action on the turf. Two girls, one from each squad, hitting the ground hard, but you never know it as they pop right back up. And now one of the Utah young ladies tying her shoe as she receives instructions from the coaching staff, and that's the speedster, Adri Johnson. Johnson will go to the middle of the field near the front of the box. Utah now with a kick toward Johnson, and Johnson will try to get in a position on the right side to kick it in, but again, great defense being played by the young ladies from Michigan, who finally kick it out of bounds at the 61-minute mark of the second half. 2-0, that's where we are right now. That's where we were at halftime. Goes at 16-34 by Danielle Wolf off a header and a direct kick, as Michigan now will send the ball shooting back to the left, and it'll be intercepted by Utah. Utah, most of the action in this second half has been on the Utah offensive side, but the team from Caseville unable to crack the back of the net as of yet. Right now, Michigan will try to kill some clock. The clock is showing 62 minutes into the match, a 2-0 Michigan lead. That was the score at halftime. Michigan down the left side, running deep toward the corner, toward the out of bounds, turning the corner on the left, and finally it'll go out of bounds and it'll belong to the Utah team at minute 62. 2-0 in favor of the Michigan Jaguar Green, 0-1 over the La Roca Premier FD out of Caseville, Utah. As Michigan's defense, they have been excellent all match long. Right now, the Michigan team has it in the offensive zone on the far side, waiting to throw it in. Toward the corner it goes, headed by Utah. Michigan falls down trying to get it again, and these girls really fall down hard, and that was Danielle Wolf, the young lady who fell down, the one who has scored both of the Michigan goals thus far. Utah now on the offensive attack. Utah will send it deep down the right side, headed toward the out of bounds, and it'll go out of bounds at minute 63. 2-0 in favor of Michigan. Two first-half goals by Danielle Wolf, the difference in the match. You're viewing the proceedings and listening on the Torbo Sports Network. My name is Alton Britt, and Utah, the coach is wondering why an out of bounds wasn't called on Michigan. Michigan, they're really, really venting themselves. Utah is down to our left, and the official really paying not a whole lot of mind to the gripes, as it's 2-0 in favor of Michigan over Utah. Michigan with an opportunity now, and a header misses by Michigan. The ball kicked right of the goal, and it will go out of bounds. It'll belong to Utah. As this is quite a growing operation. This marks the 10th National League season after the National League began in 2007. And this is the 8th consecutive year that this showcase tournament has been held here in Wilson. and the surrounding area. As far as expansion goes, boy, these teams, this league has expanded greatly as they've gone from 160 girls teams to 256 teams. Actually, girls and boys, as right now we have 128 teams of both sex. The boys will take the field for their showcase tournament here at Gillette and other venues nearby next week. Right now, the clock in the 65th minute, as we've got a substitute getting ready to check into the match. Number 17 for Utah. Number 17 is Grace Beeston, awaiting an opportunity to try to get the Utah club on the board. Utah trails Michigan in minute 66, 2-0. Michigan with the ball on the offensive end. Michigan now will play out toward midline, as much concerned with killing the clock as they are probably of scoring another goal, as they hold what is now a comfortable 2-0 advantage. Utah, though, shoots it toward the goal, and it's intercepted by Michigan, and a left-handed kick into the middle of the goal from the left side will give Michigan a 3-0 lead. And the Michiganders scream in delight as scoring that goal, I believe, was number 22. Number 22 on the goal, as that was Gabrielle McCaslin in minute 66, as McCaslin has given the Michigan club a 3-0 advantage. And McCaslin with a beautiful left-footed kick into the back of the net. Gabrielle, along with Danielle, scoring all the goals thus far for the Detroit area ball club, the Michigan Green. Danielle Wolf with 2 first-half goals, and Gabrielle McCaslin with 1 goal here late in the match. We are in minute 67 of a scheduled 80-minute affair, as the ball being scrummed for by both ball clubs down the left side. And now the team from Utah coming away with it, but Michigan intercepts as Danielle Wolf with another interception. She's been all over the field today for the Michigan Green. Her 2 first-half goals gave Michigan a 2-0 lead, as we've got another sub, number 4, and that's Shelby Egbert, about to come in for the Utah club. We are in minute 68, and it's a 3-0 Michigan lead. Also, number 13 for Utah, that's London Miller. She's set to check in as well, as Utah has a couple of girls leave the pitch of play, and they're joined as we get ready for a corner kick out of the right side by Michigan. Michigan with 2 goals by Wolf, 1 goal by McCaslin, 2 for Danielle, 1 for Gabrielle. And the Michigan Green leads it by a 3-0 score. Lofted toward the goal, headed toward the goal, doesn't get in, and finally it does get in. On the right side, off a rebound, Michigan makes it a 4-0 ball game, and Michigan celebrates down to our right. And these girls wearing white and green have been absolutely tough, as we'll endeavor to find out the number and name of the person who scored that goal. That was who? 81. Number 81 is Ariana Laba. So Ariana, Danielle, and Gabrielle with goals for the Michigan club. That one came in minute 68, just 2 minutes past the time that the third goal was scored. And Michigan now has opened up a sizable 4-0 advantage. 2 goals in the first half, 2 goals in the second half thus far. We are in minute 69 only about 11 minutes left to play in this match, and Michigan has been superb both offensively and defensively. The Utah girls have given it all they have, but the Michigan defense has been Johnny on the spot all match long. As we've got a sub wanting to get in for the Michigan Green, that's number 4. Number 4 being Sarah Noonan, as Michigan with 2 goals in the first half, 2 thus far in the second, and they've blown it open in the 69th minute, leading this match by a score of 4-0. 2 goals in the first half by Danielle Wolf, and 2 goals in the second half by Gabrielle McCaslin in the 66th minute, and in the 68th minute, the goal scored by the Michigan girls, and that was Laria scoring that goal, Ariana Laba scoring the goal, giving Michigan the 4-0 advantage as we are in the 71st minute of play. Michigan wants more downfield. The girls in white will approach the goal from the right side. More girls hit the ground, and we've got a whistle and a signal that Michigan will retain possession, and the girls in white will kick it out, I believe, from the right of the goal area, and it will be Wolf lining up and possibly attempting to score her 3rd goal. Now, the second goal scored by Wolf, she had 2 girls act like they were going to kick it. They passed the ball, leaving the 3rd person, Wolf, to actually kick it, who kicked it just beyond the outstretched arms of the goalie. And Wolf now will get another opportunity as 2 girls once again pass by, and a pass by Wolf to the left of the goal, but the shot attempted by the number 5, Sarah Smolinski, will go wide to the left side. So the ball kicked back into the field of play by the Utah coach at the 72nd minute mark. It's 4-0 in favor of the Michigan Green. Number 20 will check in. That's Mara Cusino, along with number 3 for Michigan, Chloe Holmberg, as Michigan, down to my right, enjoying the fruits of their labors as they have worked a 4-0 lead over the girls from the state of Utah, as we've got 27 different states represented in this tournament, 128 girls teams, and several states with more than one entrant, namely Michigan and New York, along with Ohio, Pennsylvania, California, Washington, all with more than one team involved in this tournament. In minute 73, as we've got another corner kick upcoming for the Michiganders, as Cusino will put it in the triangle corner on the right side. As the girls gather in front of the net, Michigan continues to lead 4-0. As we are in minute 73, the ball lofted toward the goal, but it's wide to the right side, and Utah will put it in play as they go from left to right. Again, the ball over the fence, and earning our place, Michigan will retrieve the ball. Rather, Utah will retrieve the ball and try to send it back the other way. And the slogan and the hashtag of this National League is Earn Your Place. My name is Alton Britt. My email address is altonvbritt@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. Alton V is in victory, as Michigan has gotten 2 goals from Wolf in the first half and 2 goals, one from McCaslin, one from Laba, here in the second half of play. We're in the 74th minute of a scheduled 80-minute match. Michigan with a commanding 4-0 lead over the Utah young ladies who chest the ball. Utah still searching for that first goal, and we've got a whistle and a foul as another Michigan young lady hits the turf here at Gillette. And slowly getting up, that Michigan player wearing number 16, that's Jessica Bandick or Van Dyke. Again, if I've mispronounced some of the names, I do apologize, as I'm seeing these names for the very first time, and I've not been given any credence as to the proper pronunciation, any instruction, and we'll get a kick, a direct kick out on the right side by Van Dyke. Van Dyke, the young lady who hit the ground, shoots it toward the goal, and it's headed, but it left wide. It's no good, and Utah dodges that possible fifth score by the young ladies from the Detroit area wearing white and green, as a couple of head knocks by the Utah team in the 76th minute, score 4-0 in favor of Michigan. As you view the proceedings and hear the proceedings on the Turbo Sports Network, an up-and-comer in the world of televised sports. Right now, the ball being controlled by the Michiganders as they try to protect that 4-0 lead. Utah, they've played hard all game long, just hadn't been able to penetrate what has been an awfully tough defense put up by the ladies from Michigan. The ball on the right side, we're in the 76th minute, and the ball shot toward the goal, and another save. A good save will prevent Michigan from adding a fifth point to their total, and it remains 4-0 in favor of the green, as we are in now our 77th minute here at Gillette. As, again, the officials, they have just done a fabulous job all tournament long. The best players and the best officials certainly made for each other. Very few gripes from the players and coaches from the respective teams. Right now, Utah down the right side trying to get into the back of the net. And again, the team from Michigan with great defense. A couple of girls run together and a header attempt, two headers, and Michigan will send it back the other way. Utah with a chance now to get on the board at the 77th minute mark. The ball knocked out of bounds, last touched by the young ladies from Utah. So Michigan will have it, as another header will send the ball back toward the goal for Utah. How in the world these girls head what I think is a pretty hard soccer ball as often as they do without rubbing their noggins is a mystery. But they do, as Utah will continue to attack the goal down to our right in the 78th minute. 4-0, the Michigan Jaguars. Green with the lead. The Jaguars getting two first-half goals from Danielle Wolf, and then in the second half, McCaslin along with Laba scoring for the young ladies out of the Detroit area. 4-0, the score in favor of the Michigan team in minute number 78. Downfield, Utah running hard after that ball, trying to get on the board, will kick it toward the goalie, who in turn kicks it back toward midfield as Utah continues their quest toward their initial goal, if possible. But as I said so often during this match, the defense has been just tremendous for the young ladies dressed in white with green, representing the Michigan area, as Wolf now with the ball. Wolf, a star in this game, playing great defense and adding two first-half goals, as we've got the ball propelled back toward the Michigan goal, and at midfield, still a scrum in the 78th minute. Michigan will win it. They lead it 4-0, and what suspense remains in this match will be whether Utah can get on that scoreboard for the very first time. The Utah club at the midfield, working the ball toward the goal on the right side, the pass, and Michigan, again, with great defense, will push the ball wide of the box on the right side. We approach minute 79 of this match, scheduled for an 80-minute duration. 16 and under, 4-0 the score in favor of Michigan over Utah. The Michigan Jaguars green out of the Detroit area against the Caseville, Utah club representing La Roca, the premier. FD downfield, going for the ball near the goal. Michigan can't get it as Utah has the ball kicked out of bounds in the 80th minute, and this match just very close to being ended. Michigan dominating, leading by a 4-0 score. The ball played in and headed back the other way by Michigan as the horn sounds, ending the contest. A 4-0 victory by the ladies from the Michigan Jaguars green out of the Detroit, Michigan area over the La Roca Premier FD from Caseville, Utah. 2 first-half goals by Michigan's Danielle Wolf, one at 16, one at 34, followed up by 2 second-half goals by Gabrielle McCaslin at minute 66 and Ariana Laba at minute 68. A splendid defensive effort all game long for the ladies representing Michigan, and another hard-fought soccer battle. Once again, the final score, 4-0, Michigan over Utah. And thanks for joining us on the Tolbert Sports Network. I'm Alton Brett saying so long, everybody.